Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Well, fuck me sideways! Hold the line! Hold the line! Hold the line! You shall not pass!
Oh no, you did not shoot that green shit at me!
I have you now.
Watch the birdie!
Must go faster.
Inconceivable!
Say hello to my little friend!
Come out, wherever you are.
Peekaboo!
We've been hit!
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground! Don't try it! 1 o'clock! Range! 990! Armor piercing, loaded!
Special delivery!
Target to...
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Gotcha, bitch!
guys just missed my 3-minute rant where I was telling Skip I'm not going after the Navy or the SEALs as a whole. I give shit to the team I worked with. Okay. I've worked on some crazy shit like he had here where people swim out of I've never swam out of a torpedo tube, but I have actually swam out of a sealed compartment that was attached to one of the submarines. It wasn't a torpedo tube. It was whatever the hell else they call it. I got some black ink on my shit. Okay. Now, granted, we weren't that far from the surface, and it was a training thing. They wanted to show us how hard it is. Honestly, the hardest part of that was being inside that tiny little spot as the water just goes up over your face, and they're just like, take a deep breath, and you always get a mouthful of water in there. Oh, it's terrible. Anyway, that'll put the fear of God in you. I'll tell you that much. But anywho's, yeah. I got nothing against that, and
All hands to battle stations.
sorry about that one, Skip. Sorry about the sound, guys. I didn't even realize it was off. I got 3 different things here that will turn my sound on and off, and I missed one of them. So, also, I just want to say, yeah, I saw the thing about Tim Curry. We might as well actually stop here. Everybody raise your glasses. We need to do a double dip today because, yeah, and Draven even says it down there. Tim Curry and Dolly Parton have both gone on to their next assignment. So here's to them. I don't know much about Tim Curry aside from the fact that he enjoyed his work and he was good at it. So cheers. As far as Dolly Parton goes, she was just a nice person. Everybody says the same things. She was a nice person. And I actually had it in my notes today to talk about how she was, non-political and all this other fun stuff. So here's to them both. One for Tim. One for Dolly. Oh, I mixed that a little strong. So we have the deathbed question, and he's here. Well, I am
shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
And he says, Guten, how, I can't speak German, right? Not well. And let's see. Mr. I Can Fixer here with his $10 super chat. Very, very much appreciated. And Guten Howitzer. Or, dude, I can't pronounce that. You should see me on my other channel try to pronounce some of the names of the planets. I am lost. All right. Also down here, I think I saw another one. Draven saying no sound again. Is it fixed? Hold on. Shit. Please tell me it's fixed. Please tell me it's fixed. Yep. Sound now. Okay. Yeah. By the way, when you sent the super chat with no sound, for some reason that didn't pop up. I'm having a bunch of issues here. That's strange. All right. So I'm back down here with Mr. No Sound, Draven. Let me write you down here. And damn, I still got to get a button for you. Unfortunately, the one I was going to use, of course, it's not working. And it's causing me some
Emotional damage.
As he's telling me to speak the hell up. All right. And of course, Skip sending us another 2. And Erica up here. And it's Erica. As she says, love the story you posted. Okay. Are you talking about something familiar or get some? You don't have to send a super chat for that. Just curious because we got both of them to cover today. And do we have any other super? It's called a fast pack. Yep, I fast packed. I fast roped. I've done multiple things we're not supposed to do anymore. And yeah, I got to fast rope down onto a building, also next to a building from a Chinook and a Black Hawk. That was all fun, especially when someone's trying to hurt you while you're doing it. Although the spies rope where they freaking drop the rope and you're literally like, shit. You just kind of hang in there. Yeah, that's all sorts of no fun, especially when you're coming off a roof. Your friggin' heart's just do. Because you don't know if somebody even clips that rope with anything that's coming up your way, you're going down, and there's absolutely nothing is gonna stop you. And Douglas up here saying the sub you described is an evacuation chamber. Okay. Yeah, I know it wasn't the tube. It was vertical, not horizontal. We actually went out through the top. So however that goes, all I know is a whole bunch of us got a chance to do that. For some reason, the Navy had to do some sort of funky training. I don't understand. I'm like, fuck it. I love cross training. Cross training is fun. All right. Let me scroll up here before you guys started yelling at me about no sound, which was, again, my fault. Looks like most everybody was just okay. All right. You son of a bitch. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, I see a 20 in. Oh, there it is. We got a $20 super chat from the MTF guard.
For the Emperor!
And he says, kapow! Sent some good stuff this time around. Yes, you did. About 8 of them. And I also got most of your images. One of them, for some reason, when I went to move it, it just deleted. And I don't know what the hell's going on with that. So let me write you down here, guard, as I sit here and sweat my ass off in a room with no ventilation. So thank you guys again, guard, Draven, question, Erica, Skip, everybody. Thank you again for being here. Very, very much appreciated. And I also appreciate you guys with the channel memberships. Again, I don't want to do subscription model. But the way YouTube is, I don't have a choice. For the first time, they're not automatically deleting subscriptions on me, which is interesting. So before I do anything, cheers to you guys. Do a little Bolshevik, so make sure you drink. And thank you guys for being here. That wasn't whiskey, that was scotch. Okay. Yeah, I'm not Scotty. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Guard saying we almost lost Tim Curry today. Did we lose him or did we almost lose him? Now I'm confused. So that's interesting. Anyways, I'm going to jump right into my notes here. We got a little sidetracked with the volume issue, and boom, we are going to get some. And I already did my thanks, member appreciation. So get some. First things first. I don't know if you guys caught this. There was a couple things in the very last episode that's why it says double meanings. And yeah, one of them was the fact that the guy's going to his new planet and everything's kind of peaceful. However, now they got to worry about pirates. And he tries to make light of it. However, this could, if so chose, this could actually extend the series some. But it would not. It would be basically a microcosm compared to what it was. Instead of multiple species, it would be down to one planet, maybe a planet and the moon, maybe 2 planets at most. Just because, again, it'll be focusing on one person. All right. And the fact that certain people would be showing up, people that he knew, who would also want to get some, especially since they're forearm folks. And guys, I did not come up with the names of those 2 species that were attached to the lingus, you know, the cunna and the enal attached to the lingus. I mean, when our wonderful decided to do that one, I just left for 5 minutes because I honestly, I'm trying to write, my pen keeps going sideways. I'm like, come on, dude. Okay, I gotta wait like 2 episodes before I can do that too. Oh, son of a bitch, that's funny. So yeah. Hey, no worry about being Chris. The only thing you missed is I was trying to do some explanations and my sound wasn't working. So toy on my part. So no worry about it. Now the thing with the pirates, there's also the slave traders. You got to remember that one too. That's a possible one as well. We'll see how that one goes. I do have to thank you guys. You did help me out because my dumbass forgot there's a big difference between the lingo between the Army and the Navy. We yell room attention. In the Navy, they say attention on deck. So hopefully, again, I'm not here to bash the Navy guys. You guys, they do a great job. They do what they do. It's not what I do, but I'm glad they do what they do. Because right now they're doing it well, and my phone is just losing its mind over there. So thank you for fixing me on that. Okay, let's see. I did my shout out for members. This one I had to go over, guys. Here, I'm gonna lower this one so I can look in the eyes on this one. As far as the membership goes, that does not get you a personal shout out. If you even drop whatever on here during a live stream, that's what gets you personally shout out. There's a difference I'm going to have between members and supporters. I put all the members' names up. I do a whole cut and paste right off of the page and boom, beer me right there. So you guys know I'm not bullshitting you. And then I give you guys, your supporters, your actually call outs. Okay. That's how I'm working it. So if there's any confusion, like somebody tries to says some shit in the comments section, by all means, fix them. You gotta do what you gotta do on there. So, as far as also with the medics, somebody brought up the fact that the medic had the Miracle Max on there. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about with Princess Bride, it's the fact that all the medics and the corpsmen will sit there and say, no, I can save them because they're mostly dead, not dead. If they're dead, all you can do is go through their pockets and get loose change. So, yeah, as far as the medics are concerned, yeah, you're mostly dead until they say you're dead. All right, somebody. All right, we got a quick super chat here by Prozac and Pancakes. Eddie says, Sin, be careful. My ex-wife is behind you. You guys are funny. And there's a reason I got that one up, and I will show you there. By the way, oh, man. Oh, you know what's perfect for me sitting here?
It's a trap.
Oh, she's here. She's got me. That was pretty good, man. Anyway, a few folks were talking about drone warfare, and nice, guys, nice. I'm seeing that. I'm trying not to read it, but it's on the backside of my peripherals here. There was a big thought about drone warfare, especially when it comes to space combat. And the fact of the matter is, anti-drone warfare is becoming a huge deal now. We talked about it last week when it came down to the whole the Ukrainians beat the holy crap out of, what was it, First Armored or whoever, or Second Armored? I don't know who the hell it was, but they beat the shit out of one of our armor brigades like they were fucking nothing. Why? Because armor is an antiquated weapon system, just like the bolt-action rifle. You need a better vehicle. I keep telling people this, but they don't want to fucking listen. Now, don't get me wrong. The tankers can be badass as anybody else, provided they're not being spotted by drones, because you can run through artillery with a tank. Unless they get a direct hit, you just let the shockwave bounce off your hull. The problem is a drone is guided, which is why back in the day, I'm trying to remember which year, but I don't remember exactly when. I believe it was the Israelis versus the Egyptians. I might have that one wrong. Feel free to fix me. However, the Israeli tanks had a secret. One of the tanks just looked like a tank, but it was a guided missile carrier. And the fact that they could fire 4 rounds and hit 3 out of the 4 was a big deal, was a massive deal. So, yeah. it's the same. Since then, I've said that tanks have been antiquated. We need to shrink the amount of heavy armor we have and switch it with something else, something more flexible. You know, like Mrs. Incredible.
Giggity giggity, giggity goo. Stick around.
Now, as far as drone warfare goes, a lot of people said the only drone or anti-drone warfare is another drone. I vehemently disagree. Reason being is you don't need another drone. We have energy projectors of one way or another that simply fry the damn thing. There's anti-drone warfare done with Hawks right now. It doesn't work for shit with military-grade drones because the props are metal. But any plastic prop, when the bird comes in to hit it, the plastic prop's going to snap because it's spinning so fast, and then it whacks the bird on the leg. It's going to hurt the bird, but it's not enough to break their bones, especially down to the legs where it's the thickest. The only other place that's thicker is their face. So, again, you don't need another drone. There are anti-drone weapons right now that you can carry. The original one was about 35 to 40 pounds. The damn thing was very, very difficult to maneuver. It was super long. It was cumbersome as all hell. Did it work? Yes. But the actual backlash of energy you got because it's trying to send out a pulse, but it didn't focus it enough. Basically, you're giving yourself cancer of the face and the brain and the neck and the chest and everywhere else you got all the way down through your toes. I mean, that's just the way it goes. But anyways, the new anti-drone warfare you can have strapped to the back of one of the vehicles. They're just now testing it out in Ukraine, and it's working wonderfully. Where it will see a drone, it will zap it. Now it'll zap a bird too. So, but if it's on top of a actual running vehicle, that's enough power to keep it going. And they'll zap, I think the highest I saw was 30. Well, they say it could zap 30, but when they tested it, it got about 10 at a time. But the thing fires every like 3 seconds. So by the time the drone even gets close, it's fricasseed. It's on the ground. So in actuality, when it comes to drones, just like I say in all my stuff, the torpedoes that are sent out. Everybody thinks torpedoes in space and they think Star Trek. Oh, this glowing ball. I don't care about their glowing balls. Okay, whatever. An actual shaped torpedo through a space combat would have to be heavily armored, double hull if possible. They would have to have its own jamming system that it could work its way through so it could still lock on its target, or it could be a basically skipper missile from Wing Commander. It has to have its own point defense system so it doesn't get blasted as much because it still can get hit. And it has to have enough fuel or enough energy to strike its target. So it has to be able to defend itself, is my point. It has to be fast, or at least faster than most things can track. The problem is, even in space warfare, you're going to see this bitch coming. You use LiDAR, it's going to bounce off the metal. Unless they got some sort of polymer to fix that. Okay. So, that's my point, is that for every weapon, there's a counter, and there's a counter to that counter, just like in combatives. It's just the way it goes. So get ready for that, even when it comes to science fiction. That is actually the reason why in Battletech and MechWarrior, you can't actually get a lock on until you have line of sight. You can have a rough idea where the hell they are because seismic sensors, but you're not going to be able to lock on to shit. Pure and simple. You won't be able to actually lock on any guided weapons, and you can't launch them over because the EMS is going to work and they're not going to be able to lock on to shit anyway. So yeah, Battletech was actually really smart on that. Speaking of which, Second Channel is doing okay for only about 2 weeks. All right. Somebody put in the comment section that the station Limp 1 must have got Blue Chew Gold. That's all I can say about that. All right. Here's one I thought you guys would pick up on. Unfortunately, only one person kind of referenced it in the comment section, but I thought you guys would find this funny. In the last episode of Get Some, it was the ending. What else do they call the ending to a story? It builds up to something, right? Well, what was the name of the planet they have to take over and govern? The same name. It came to a climax. Boom. Beer me. I think I'll drink to that. So, yeah. That was kind of, like I said, double meanings. It ended with a climax. It kind of had a bunch in the middle, too. But that wasn't the double meaning I was going after. All right. There was a reference in the comment section about cultures and how some of them are going to interact with others and dead cultures and stuff like that. It got a little over the top, so I'm going to skip by that pretty quick. Now, I'm going to move on to something familiar. And guys, you've been bugging me about this series for a while. And here's the fun thing. Those of you who are members, and I know who you are because your name actually comes up green on my side. If you were waiting for this and you're a member, it's already there. You can already watch it. Like I keep saying, anybody who's a member, they get to see everything early. So this one that's on screen, yep, that one already dropped for members. Everybody else has to wait till midnight, at least Eastern Standard. So we had actually not one, but 2 episodes drop in the past week. Guys, I am trying my damnedest to get them out. I actually stayed up past 1 o'clock last night editing, and then I did some writing, continuing on what I did before until I got so tired that I literally kept dropping the pen and the notepad. You can actually see on my notepad, you'll see like lines that go off. I'm just like, okay, where I was. Regardless, I will be trying to get these out. I will not be able to do any writing tomorrow. I have to take my dad to the VA, and we got to can tomatoes tomorrow, and we got a few other things. It's going to be too busy. That being said, I will continue to do this. I am getting as far as I can on something familiar. And by the way, when you guys actually watch this one, you're going to think that, oh, we got something familiar. You ain't there yet. Haven't reached the destination. Anyways, not too much in the comment section, aside from, been waiting for this. Oh my God, you fucking asshole. Why does it take so long? Somebody wanted a shape-shifting silver tip grizzly. And what? I mean, just seriously, I mean, I heard about the was it the owl bear thing? That only became a thing because of Avatar, the original cartoon. Owl bears were a thing there. Then they brought it into D&D, and I mean, it was kind of a thing in D&D, but it was kind of obscure. Now it's like right in everybody's face. I'm sitting there like, what? Because if you start doing it, here's how I see those mix, like the duck bear or the owl bear or the, I don't know, platypus bear, whatever they had in Avatar. You know what that tells me? That's the same friggin' planet we're sitting on right now. And what happened? They had a nuclear war. Very few people survived. Somehow they got their magic powers on that. But it also twisted DNA and kind of merged them together. So, yeah. All right, I got my thing here about Dolly Parton's. We already did that. I mentioned how she's not political and she was a nice lady. Okay. Guys, I'm just going to let you know, when you see a purple butt, some person actually thought that that was going to be a dragon. I'm just going to let you know it wasn't. I haven't gotten anywhere near that section. Okay. There's a certain person who wants me to go deeper into the story, a lot deeper into like fourth dimension areas. I got to stick with the original for now. I got to get until where it's supposed to go. So hopefully I don't lose you guys on that. I tried to make sure it was good. I will say I screwed up. I screwed something up so bad I actually had to go rewrite it. And guys, I'm laughing at myself for doing something so dumb. I actually got through almost the entire chapter 23, and I forgot to put Jezebel in it. You know, the elf, Jezebel. And I'm just like, oh, idiot. So I had to go back and do a whole bunch of notes and realized I didn't have to rewrite the entire thing. I just had to add a few sections. So if it seems like there where I pause, it's because I'm a little bit off the cuff adding stuff in. So there's that. All right. That's it for the notes. And because that's it for the notes, I'm going to go into media. And I have not seen these guys. I have not seen the media. I got the Something Familiar out today, and I downloaded these, and I had enough time to go and grab a meal, come back, and have everything ready for the live stream. So, what the hell is this?
I'm not like you. Go to hell.
Pocket sand.
Okay, that was funny. I'll admit that was funny. Hopefully we don't get any monetized issues on that one. But, or hold on, I said the magic word. But we'll hit another video, 30-second video, and then we're going to change over to video game news. That was a man after my own heart. You know why I say that? Because I've always said the same thing. When in doubt, empty the magazine. And I actually know somebody who took that to heart, because the first time he got into any type of, shall we say, action, he literally dumped an entire drum out of his saw into over there. He's like, the shots are from over there. And he just held it down and damn near overheated his barrel. So I don't have any other pictures to go with these, so I'm just going to run through them really quick. As far as games, the Wolverine game that's supposed to be coming up, the new X-Men one. Wow. There's no any other way to say this. They're bringing in Wolverine and they're bringing in Mystique. Now, everybody knows Mystique is a very attractive lady. She actually doesn't age, which is something they kind of talked around for the movies. However, she doesn't actually age. She is one of the immortals, which is why when she ends up linking up with Logan, I think it's a good one because they both understand each other. They both gone through some shit. However, not only did they look at Mystique and think she's a very attractive woman, how bad can we fuck this up? So they took her hair. Now she's a shapeshifter, so she can change all the time. But now her base form is cropped hair as short as mine, basically. Eyes that don't have the same lore, square jaw, and no tits. I mean, it's bad enough. Literally, it's like looking at Captain Marvel. No ass. I'm like, what the ever-loving flying fuckle knuckles are you guys doing? We can't have nice things. I swear, these people do not want us to have anything that we can enjoy. Oh, it gets worse, by the way. I looked at the character designs for Logan, i.e. Wolverine, and Wolverine, as you know, They've changed him to be taller instead of being 5'2". But instead of being the most badass looking guy there, like he's ready to like rip your nuts off at a moment's notice, he looks like he's been chugging down soy milk for about 40 years and nothing else. And I'm just sitting there going, what? Just what? Why? Just why? 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 Why are you doing this? It doesn't make any freaking sense. It never made sense. Why are they screwing with something we enjoy? Because they can. And instead of being the man's man, he's the man's man. I hate the fuck that I can say that. And I'll tell you what. Oh, please tell me I didn't destroy. Okay, yeah. You know what they get? They get one of these.
You are fined 1 homo suspicion point for violation of the Man Code Morality Statute.
I'm like, what the hell are they thinking? Just why you... But wait, there's more. Lawyers are being brought in against anybody who is able to get a hold of an early copy of GTA 6. They said there's a leak. There's never an actual leak on these things. Why is Rockstar bringing out all the friggin' lawyers? Because they don't want people to realize what a piece of woke slop it is. But the word is out. Everybody knows that it's dog shit. And everybody who liked GTA originally are all screaming.
God damn it!
And it's just, it's driving them crazy. And, I mean, I'm looking at my soundboards, like 3 other buttons I could press for this. And all I can say is people are looking even at the preview saying,
holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
It's crazy, guys. It is absolutely crazy. I saw a couple like maybe 10-second ones, and I'm like, I'm not a GTA player, but that looks dumb. So they're not getting any new players in. Okay, here's one that just this blows my mind, because you would think anything that's coming straight from Japan, straight from Korea, wouldn't have this DEI bullshit. But apparently there is a game, it's a driving game, folks. It's just a driving game. You know, I like driving games. I love Mario Kart. You get a bunch of us together with some Mario Kart, a couple of pizzas, and a few cases of beer. I'm having a fun night. Okay, that is just fun for me. Even if I lose every single match, I don't give a shit. It is fun for me. However, I kid you not, the game Shift Up, which is supposed to be a bunch of 16 to 20-year-old girls who are racing, all anime style, like K-pop Demon Hunter. The studio brought in, I'm going to read it right here, hires DEI specialist. I
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
I'm looking at these guys and I'm just saying,
Congratulations, you played yourself.
it hurts, because people actually look forward to this game. They wanted to play the new one. But what do they get? They get a lot of Why isn't that coming off the screen? Okay, that was weird. All right. And going on to the next one, because just wait, there's more. Gears of War. We all know Gears of War. Even if you don't play it, you know of it. It's a big shoot 'em up. And yeah, Draven, I don't know what the hell just happened. Anyways, Gears of War is a big shoot 'em up. It's aliens from underneath the ground coming up, and everyone's shooting and killing and throwing grenades on chains and stuff like that with armor that makes absolutely no fucking sense. Everybody's genetically modified up the yin yang, quite literally, to be these just gargantuan motherfuckers, even though the only thing they eat is radishes. It's crazy. But they have Gears of War E-Day. Now, that's supposed to be basically the start of the war, when these fuckers from underneath just charged up out of the ground and started, fucking everybody's faces in. And the first checks on the alpha and beta test are coming out, and people are saying the same thing. It's all girl boss bait. I have no problem at all with a female main character. I'm going to say that right now. I have zero issue with a female lead. Okay? The blonde who was in the Gears of War before, she was an excellent character. They drew her well. They played her well. They gave her an actual story. What do they do in this one? Basically turn every man into a moron. I'm just sitting there going, what are you doing? It's like all these zombie movies where suddenly the military just gets overrun. Why? Because. And it irritates me to absolutely no end. Did I get transported, Raven? Who knows? Maybe I got transported and, she's going to come in and start rubbing my chest, because that's actually when I looked that up. That's not demon, that's succubus. But yeah, Gears of War going all DEI girl boss. Okay, where is it? Where is it? It's right here.
How about new?
Yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Even though I'm not a game player anymore, I won't recommend it to those who are. That's how much I don't give a shit about all this. All right. But wait, there's more. The game Marathon, the one that was supposed to replace I'm trying to remember what it is. The Cavalry's here, that one. That game with the Professor Ape, whatever the hell. It is so bad that they have put so many discounts that they are, by all accounts, giving away the game for free. It is that bad. The character designs are that bad. The voiceovers are that bad. The gameplay is that bad that nobody wants it. They're literally giving it to you and saying, please play this so that we don't look like freaking total douchebags. I'm like, too late. You already look like a douchebag. And it's just, it's like they. Now, I will give the woke people one piece of credit, one piece on that. They didn't take something that was already established and wokeify it. They took something original and they left it as woke. I can respect that much. However, when your woke bullshit dies,
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
It's that bad. All right. But wait, there's more. The Fable franchise is waiting because I have a $10 super chat from the demon. I think they're in here with me. He says, nothing like clocking in late to work because you weren't paying attention to the clock because you were fighting with dad over the prices of houses between 97 and today, and wages and gas prices. Boomers. Hi, guys. Bye, guys. Great for you to be here. I'm glad you're here, man. Let me write you down here with your super chat. Very much appreciated there, Demon. Hopefully you get some time and you don't lose too much there. Hopefully the boss doesn't hurt you too much on that. Now, as far as the boomers go, I don't give the boomers as much shit as a lot of people do, just because a lot of them, I've seen what's happened. And we can go over the social aspect of that when I'm almost done with these. Excuse me. But anyway, like I said, there's more. The video game Fable was making a lot of noise because the gameplay was good. However, the characters were so horrible to look at, nobody wanted to play it. So they finally are saying, to hell with the modern audiences, and they're actually redoing the skins on the games. When they tried to do a whole thing about allowing people to alter it, they altered the amount that they showed, the percentage was somewhere in the 90 percentile. That people that altered the character within, what, a day of them getting the patch? It was crazy. So, yeah, a little news, bright news at the end of the tunnel. Now, I'm going to throw in a quick video before we jump into the next subject.
Yep, here it comes.
Okay, hopefully the music doesn't get me in trouble. And yes, just that little clip of music. I have not one, but two videos on my second channel that I use too long of a video or audio clip when it comes to music, and neither of them can ever be monetized. Fun. However, or I should say, but I just want to touch on this one that Demon was talking about when it comes to the houses, house prices, and stuff like that. There is a myriad of factors going against people and the housing prices. The fact that this house was put together right before everything started to go absolutely freaking nuts was just one of the few good timings that I've had, or anybody in my family has had, throughout our entire lives. It's absolutely freaky. Now, as far as the wages, every time somebody talks percentages of inflation, always look at the timeline. Whenever they say, "Oh, inflation's only what, up 3%," day, week, month, or a year should be your very next question, and they'll look at you like, "What do you mean? Are you saying 3% inflation up just today, for the past week, for the past month, or the entire year?" And if they say the entire year, tell them they're a fucking idiot and walk away. Tell them Syntax told them they're a fucking idiot and walk away. They no. Because what happens is they'll say, "Oh, it's only up 3%, it's only up 4%, stuff like that." That's each month, but 3% this month, 4% this month, and then another 3%. That's 10% has gone up in 3 months. So blow me. Ugh. So yeah, it's called compound interest, and the fact that we have people so screwing up with private equity, it physically hurts me. And if I had the time, I was going to make an entire Crazy Uncle video based on that, and I don't have the time. With everything going on, every time I try to get some time, somebody else shows up and said, "Yeah, we need to take a day from you." Well, fuck. So just like tomorrow, I won't be able to do much until all the other stuff is over. So on that note, I'm going to scroll right on up here, and I don't know how far I'm going to go. Most of you guys were yelling at me at first for right here with the whole thing with Tim Curry. Yeah, so he did actually die. Okay. Douglas up here saying, "I used to have fun with drill sergeants with Navy guys on the pistol range. Most couldn't hit the broadside of a barn." Yeah, me neither. Because I almost never used a pistol. They keep them away from us. Why? Because they're afraid we'll say, "Fuck you, sir," and blast somebody. Okay, it's very easy to do. The only people that got pistols were first sergeant and above, because they always walked around like they're gangsters with the friggin' stupid holsters that never actually clipped onto their belt like they're supposed to. Everybody I know who has a shoulder holster says the same thing. If it doesn't clip on your belt, don't buy the goddamn thing. I still haven't bought mine just because I haven't got around to it. So whatever. But yeah, the same thing on that, Douglas, is the fact that when I went to God damn it. But they sent us to some mercenaries to actually do some pistol training, and we must have blew through like 9,000 rounds apiece. I mean, I'm not even exaggerating. We went through it. Your thumb is completely calloused from just constantly reloading magazines. We were in one class, all the military guys, and the officers, firefighters, and stuff like that were in the other class next to us. And when it came to the pistols, these guys literally walked in, said, "Here is your ass." Okay, literally just handed it right to us. I mean, they had us hands down. And one of these guys, he was sergeant or lieutenant in his department. I swear, this guy with a Beretta 9mm could bullseye the target at almost 100+ meters. I mean, I don't know how the hell he got that angle right, but he did. And it is just almost freaky. I think the best our guys got was like 75, if that. And I was out long before that. Pure and simple. And I even told people, I'm going to be accurate, but I won't be quick. Speed comes with time. So, yeah. You're right, Douglas. We don't. But you know what? When it came down to the rifles, we smoked them. We literally said, here's your ass this time. You know, it was complete night and day. I still remember specifically, I'm behind a barrier. I got my rifle. He goes, okay, lean to the right. Shoot. And there's a moving target on the other side, but you got to aim through this tiny little crack that's, 10 meters ahead. He's, okay, you need to time this for ting. I go back. He's like, okay, switch shoulders, go on the left side, and make sure you ting. I still remember he looked at me and goes, "You're infantry, aren't you?" I go, "Yes." "Okay. Do that 3-round burst, right side, left side, and then go and you can replace." So, of course, flip it to 3-round burst, and I moved it. I didn't even didn't even fire the entire magazine. And apparently, we didn't realize, but there was an extra like half a day. We were basically on stand down because we had cleaned our rifles so well and so fast because we were using theirs that they were the other guys, the police and fire and all them. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. Everything was all jacked up. They didn't know you had to clean the star chamber. They had no barrels or bore snakes to clean it out. It was crazy. So anyway, and by the way, my sister has actually scored with a pistol #1 in the state multiple times. Do not piss that woman off. Oh yeah, there's the whole thing about the ex-wife. Nice. Chris says, I was listening to a friend while on leave and got my Richard caught in a bear trap. A euphemism for got married. Yep. Erica's here says, if a medic says that you're dead while you're awake, make a recording. That's creepy. That's just a little creepy. All right, guards up here says, we tried several times to update our military, especially if in the armor area, but no, all the funding kept getting diverted to other stupid shit like USAID in South Africa or South America. Yeah, you'd be amazed how often that happens. Just like the whole thing when I was in Korea, our battalion commander bought $1.5 million piece or $1 million+ dollar piece of equipment for his tank, and the goddamn thing didn't fit because nobody makes parts for those antiques anymore. And yes, over there they are actual antiques. The Bradleys we were using were the very first generation. They didn't even have bench seats. They had folding seats that collapsed in a weird way. You're supposed to actually get up, turn, collapse the seat so the guy behind you can get up and move. Or when you get up and move, they have to collapse it before they can go, and then it's so fucking stupid. Whoever designed the fucking things has never actually been in them. And he continues with, they got defunded because some politician said that we didn't need to update our armor to the extent of replacing our current model. Dumbass elders in charge. That's like if you ever watch the Chubby Sparky, the fat electrician, when he talks about Casey Hobart. The guy who actually redesigned cavalry warfare after World War I because he realized how effective tanks actually can be. Yeah, and everybody else fought him. A lot of people do not want to sit there and say their MOS is not worth it anymore. My MOS will always be there. Infantry will always be there. We might end up with exosuits. We might end up being, enhanced or something like that. However, the guy on the ground is never going to change. There's still going to be somebody on the ground. They're going to look different. Just like the armor, just like when they switch from horses to tanks, are you still cavalry? Yes. What you ride in the battle is different. That's all. If they switch from tanks to something else, you're still going to be cavalry. You're just going to ride in different. That's why they had air cavalry. It's the same idea. It was just a different type of equipment. All right. Lena says, aliens use plasma missiles and Federation uses antimatter missiles. I am not deep enough in the lore of either of those to say anything. War Sniper says, Sin, I sent you the character mail of the Shadow Dragon True to the mail. And he said he resent it. I believe I saw it in there. Honestly, I haven't been able to even open. I'm lucky I was able to get in my emails and download what you guys sent me as far as the media for this time. Again, busy. I mean, that coffee maker over there, you guys can't see it, but it's over there. 14-cup coffee maker. I went through it twice in the past 2 days. Just because I got to keep working on stuff. All right. Guardian says, a climax is not a story ending. It's the story peak, which often happens near the end of the story. I don't know, but I always climax on her end. No, I'm not going to say it. The last part of the story is the resolution. There's supposed to be something in between. But I don't recall. Okay. He doesn't recall what it's called. You're not wrong. I just thought it was funny that the word climax was being used. All right. War Sniper says, I hope she gets added in there. Would be wholesome with Rekishen. Considering Rockish is not Rake, it's Rock. R-O-C-K. But as far as Rockishin goes, or Rocky if you prefer, don't forget he's still a kid. He's like 12. I mean, he's very young. That's why he can sleep at the same time that the main character and Scarlet sleeping at the same time. Because when they sleep at the same time, if you're asleep too, you're having a really funky dream. Now, just like any other drug or anything like that, you can get too used to it and it won't affect you anymore. Or it will affect you very little, to the point where, how do I put this? I've known folks who enjoyed a beverage enough times where they don't get sloppy drunk anymore. They get fun drunk. And they stay there because their body will not allow them to go any further. Unless they're drinking certain things. Because everybody has that one mistress, the one you love, but she's going to fuck you over every time, and not in a good way. As far as being wholesome, I'm pretty sure it could be. It could be. Douglas says, I love the story twist in this version of Something Familiar. I'm sure you're talking about the one that just dropped today around 2:30 this afternoon. And yes, actually, I've been working up towards that one for a while. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Douglas says, a grizzly is a type of werebear like in Lord of the Rings. I'm guessing you're talking about in D&D. Because as far as I know, a grizzly bear is something that we have to look out for around here. And if I see one, it ain't going to be around. I'll call the state after it. Or after to come pick up the body. Because honestly, that's one thing, guys, that if you know anybody who bear hunts, you're going to notice that when they hang it up, they do not hang it where anybody can see it. Because when you skin that thing out, it looks like a skinned out human body. And I know plenty of people who do not hunt bears for one reason and one reason only. If you wound the son of a bitch, the wail it leaves out is just absolutely, it will go into your soul, man. It will go into your fucking soul. It's terrible. I know somebody who's bow hunted his entire life. He says if he bear hunts, he uses a freaking rifle. He will never, he's done bow hunting with a bear one time. He got it, but he said never again for that one reason. I was like, you should have got it in the lung. He goes, I did get it in the lung. He got it literally perfect. He showed a picture, perfect broadside through the lung into the heart. Didn't go all the way through. Kind of got refracted on the ribs, but still, oi. Okay. Denouement. I'm missing something on that one, Draven. You're probably right as far as between the resolution and the climax, yeah. Eric says following action. Pocket sand from Draven. Ah ha ha. He means this.
I'm not like you. Go to hell.
Pocket sand.
And all right, War Sniper's over here saying, Sin, it seems that the fandom of every movie and series and the loving hell out of lesbian space princess movies or series. I don't know what that is, and I don't want to know. As far as the lesbian space princess, it's the same thing that used to happen, actually still does happen in Japan. It's a mental fantasy for guys, and it is a zero loss gain for women. Because in that case, they're not betraying their family because they're not actually getting, whoop in. However, they're still getting their rocks off, if you want to call it their rocks. So, I mean, again, it's, yeah. And as far as that, I actually have known many people who've lived in Japan and several who have left because of weird shit like that, where they don't understand where if you got two underage kids, they can do literally everything they want together. But as soon as one of them gets above age, they have to stop. Legally, they have to wait until they both get to of age. But and the thing is, over there, as young girls, they're still encouraged to do the, how do I put this? Swing sort of stuff with the ladies. Just to kind of smooth everything over, because it's true, guys, and I'm sure any lady you talk to is going to deny it, but they have a much, much higher drive than we do. It's actually to the point where you catch them at the right time, say the right thing, and oh, wait. Sorry, wrong button. Oh, you bastard. God damn it. All right. Sorry, my soundboard just shit itself. We're gonna have to wait for that to actually unfuck itself. So anyways, let's see. Guardian saying, well, that's some irony. Says, I went and looked it up. The version I learned, it's called Following Action, but it has other names. Okay. All right. Is this the one about trusting the ladies?
X doesn't trust me right now.
Really? Why not?
Because I got to use a sniper rifle and I ended up unloading a round into her ass.
Hey, chicka bum bum.
Caboose, what did I tell you about that?
Sorry.
All right. Guardian says the next hurricane that comes towards Florida is named Dolly. Honestly, I don't know if anything's going to be coming at Florida for the entire season. With the way, I'm sure you guys have looked it up, the way this El Nino is affecting everything in that area weather-wise, and that it's actually pushing all the way up through the southern states. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's going to be one this year. And if there is one, it's going to be one strong fucker. I mean, seriously, strong fucker, because those guys, those hurricanes, they love hot weather. And this El Nino is nothing but hot. As it melts your boots on the asphalt in a rocky summer hot. All right. Lynn says, who is Mystic? Is that a blue-skinned woman who is going around naked in the movie? Oh, Mystique. Yes. Yes. The blue that she's a shapeshifter. Yep, that's her. That is their version of Mystique, not Mystic. That being said, just like the one who plays Harley Zell, I don't think she. What the fuck just happened to this? I think I blinked out. Anyways, body shape wise, it is very, 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 very difficult for a woman to match that. Okay, just like tried to match the Punisher or Cable or anything like that. That's why everybody just gives them a pass, because it's almost friggin' impossible to find someone who matches that. Now, as far as her walking around naked, yeah, that's what shapeshifters do. Let's see. Guardian said, according to one model, the denouement is between the following action and the resolution. I'm not sure what's supposed to be other than maybe a transition between the two. If I remember correctly, guys, the following action is what settles said climax, and between the settling of said climax and the actual settling of the story is your denouement. I could be wrong. It's been a very long time since I looked it up, and it kind of hit me about the name, the denouement, ever since I went through creative writing in college, which was one of the few that I actually had people constantly coming up to me going, how do you do that? How do you do that? How do you make these? I'm like, that's the way my brain is wired. And then like the same way when I first started the live stream, it was to help people out trying to figure out how to write their stuff. Excuse me. All right, talking about a big lag spike. And then I got teleported. And why is my brain going to different places right now? It's weird. And Guard says, oh, yeah, this GTA 6 leak stuff is pretty much destroyed Rockstar. Yeah. I'm starting to wonder if Rockstar deliberately leaked it so they could send lawyers to bring in money so they could keep their shit going. Because here's the fun thing. It's kind of like that joke from Larry the Cable Guy. I believe sometimes you have to wreck the truck to get the insurance payment to pay the truck payment. And, it's literally robbing Peter to pay Paul here. And I don't know why my nose itches so fucking bad today. It's been that way for a couple days. But yeah, I could see that happening. Guard with, like, they have gotten the help of the FBI on this guy, and they just recently showed up at a 19-year-old's house for making a joke that he works with him. Why not? There was somebody who said something against the UK, and they had people waiting for him when he showed back up. But I was in another country. I'm allowed to say this stuff like that. It's freedom of speech. Nope, not according to them. Lena says, GTA 6 still probably want you to pay $100 for the game. Yeah, and it's not going to be complete when you get it. It literally is. Sorry, I need to take a side route on this. With the original Xbox, even Xbox 360 games, when you got it, even if you had to wait an extra year, you got a complete game, 100% complete game. That's what people like. You got a hard copy. That copy was yours. No one else's. It belonged to you. Unless they walked in there and actually stole your copy, that game was yours. You play it as many times as you freaking want. If you want improvement, you're going to have to buy the new one. That's the way it's supposed to go. However, now, what they don't tell you is on the disc is, yeah, part of the game, basically the very intro, and an access code. The access code is what goes across whatever server they're using, whether it be live or whatever the hell PlayStation uses. And that's when you get the rest downloaded. That's the way they run things. And they say, well, if you can it's all, God damn it. I messed the initialism up. It's direct video download. And I'm just like, Why, or DLC. And I'm just, why, you fuckers? I just want the physical media. I don't want to have to be hooked up to something. Oh, but you got to pay us. Fuck you. Just make a good game. Screw your woke shit so you don't have to pay those extra people all this extra money for them to claim that they want things to be changed to suit them, even though they'll never buy it. Give me the physical game and we'll call it fucking good. Okay, Erica says, we forgot what a girl boss was. Original girl bosses were women that were feminine or tomboys in a position of authority. Yes, that was the original girl boss. The only ones that were the girl boss we didn't like was known as a Mary Sue, someone who was naturally just better at everything than every other man there. And her only quote unquote flaw was she was too perfect. Ay, Chihuahua. Okay, guys who are too perfect get the shit kicked out of them for good reason. Believe it or not, that actually saves them, most likely saves them from doing something completely retarded, because if you get things that are too perfect growing up, you're going to end up getting arrogant. You get arrogant, you get cocky. You get cocky, you get dead. That's the type of person that says, I can drive my car through the city streets at 120 miles an hour. I've never drifted a vehicle, but I'm sure I could do it down a busy city street. No. But yeah, the original girl boss. Yeah, you're right, Erica. That's true. And there was no problem with them because a lot of them earned what they got. They earned being there. And that's what made the difference. Just like Ripley from Aliens. She earned her spot as a girl boss because she decided, you know what? I'm going to friggin' fight like everybody else. There's a bunch of others. That's just the first one that comes up. You know, which is why when they said they wanted to change what's her name, Luke Skywalker's wife, into something completely different, I'm just like, no. She was again a girl boss, an original version of the girl boss. Now it's all bastardized. That's hitting hard. Okay, Douglas says, my daughter's dog has decided that she is my dog because I treat the dog with kindness and pay attention to her needs. Yep. That's actually something when I was over in upstate New York, my roommate, he had a girlfriend who's the dog. There was a rescue dog, former bomb dog, I think. His former work dog, at least. And I would go up, first thing I did is when it came up, I dropped to one knee and I put my hand out so the dog can come up and immediately sniff my hand. Then he rolled over so I can give him a tummy rub and stuff like that. And, gave him a treat later when they were acting good and this, that, and the other thing. And the dog loved me to the point where it didn't want to leave. She got so pissed off. Apparently she chewed out my roommate because the dog liked me more than it liked her. I'm like, treat the dog better, you dumbass. Duh. Let's see. Erica says, I hope we get back to well-written true girl bosses. I hope so too. I just want good written, good directed, and these woke people to leave our media the hell alone. It's bad enough people have been leaving away from Hollywood so much that there is no Hollywood as we originally know it. It's pretty much gone. All the studios are leaving for other countries, like Canada of all places. And I'm just like, what the hell? Everybody's shooting on different locations like the old spaghetti westerns. They don't want to be in actual Hollywood anymore because they know how toxic it is. And it's still bad. What the? Hold on. Okay. Somebody's arguing. All right. I see something. Let me scroll down really quick. Wow, I got a long way to scroll. And we got Skip with a $10 super chat.
All hands to battle stations.
As he says, boomers were born between 1945 and 1965. I was born in 1955. Oh, did you see the DeLorean? Therefore, I can truly say, please cut us some slack. Oh, please cut us no slack. We really screwed up on all levels. Now, on that same note, I will say this, Skip, when you were around 20 years old, that is when no fault divorce actually kicked in. By the time you were born, hell, by the time you were 10 years old, the birth control pill kicked in. Those two things changed a lot of our society. And because our society changed, there was a lot of different things that we would think would be normalized and passed down to everybody else and all this other shit before all that shift happened. And by the way, before anybody gives me shit, times fucking change and we all got to deal with them. That being said, a lot of the boomers, as people say, because I personally don't believe that a 20-year gap is an entire generation, because I am a Zennial, not a Gen Z. The fact of the matter is a lot of the boomers are in bad positions now because society has changed so drastically from when they were children. I mean, a lot. The only difference is, like you were saying, Skip, from 55 to, well, the first computers came out around the 80s, so you were pretty well set in your ways before the technological shift happened. So, yeah, you guys, socially speaking, as a group, and I have to put all the, not you personally, but all the boomers together, the fact of the matter is you were very, 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 very set in your ways. And the fact that you can't really adjust from there, that's a natural human thing. That is very natural. Me personally, being a Zennial, I grew up in a time of flux. So there's a big difference. You know, I not only accept change, I expect change. You know, when you were growing up, it was, you know, muscle cars were the big thing. You know, taking a jalopy and making it all that in a bag of potato chips. Okay, wow. I don't know if I was up there. All right, I'm going to start right here. By the way, thanks again, Skip. Appreciate it. Guard says, the worst part of Gears of War E-Day is that the chick they have as a girl boss isn't even a goddamn canon character. What? Now I really want that button back so I can just scream, what? What the fuck? But instead, I'll do this one.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
It's ridiculous. Why on so many levels? Don't they have the lore to actually pull from? They can't just pull a character from there. It continues like there are multiple badass female characters that were there since day one of it, and they could have used it, but no. Instead, they make a freaking chiseled jaw built like a truck, self-insert number 5,000. I can get a blonde one, Anya, because at that time she was an intelligence officer and later on second in command to the COG. That's why she was not there. But they could have chosen others. You hit the nail on the fucking head, man. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. That'd be like somebody going into this one, get some, and just pulling another species out your ass. It doesn't make sense. You got to at least hint that they're there first before anything. And then he says, oh, yeah, local communist streamer, future terrorist Hassan Parker got his ass throttled live on television after singing a bastardized version of Charlie Kirk's song. I heard something about that. I have not seen it. Again, I've been working, so I don't get to see a lot. But then again, from what I hear, the guy's a douchebag, so he deserved what he got. And that's one of the key things. Here in America, we don't mind throwing hands down. It's just the way it is. Just like how they used to have the whole thing about pickpocketing back in the day. And not only did streamers go over to, if they got pickpocketed, they would chase the guys down, not just give me my stuff back. It's, I'm going to beat your ass, motherfucker. You know, just like literally stitches. sometimes scars, a lot of times scars. And because a lot of American tourists decided, you know what, it's time to just do what we do. A lot of these pickpocket problems are gone. Some, what they say about in Starship Troopers, force is violence, and naked violence has solved more issues than anything else in history. He's not wrong. Let's see. Lena says, American military plane flew into Russian airport in Moscow yesterday. Something weird is going on. Something weird is always going on. If you ever watched the movie Shooter, I think it's Shooter, where they go talk to the guy out in the woods who's supposed to be really smart. It is one of the best scenes right there. And it ends perfectly. The moment you think you got it figured, you're wrong. Actually, Guards here also talking about the guy getting his ass kicked. Says, and gets bashed by his own freaking community for taking back his words about the U.S. deserving 9/11. Too late now, bro. About 7 years late. Yeah. And as far as weird stuff going on, he actually has stuff here. It says, yeah, I find that to be quite weird, but who knows? Maybe it's us trying to tell or convince Russia to dump Iran, or hell, maybe even help us with Iran because nobody else will in exchange for oil. Why not? Well, the thing is, Russia exports a lot of oil. And honestly, they don't have the capacity to pump out any more. However, if Iran gets all fucked up, then the oil price is going to go up. And unfortunately, everybody's going to get pissed off. So, you got to watch that. There's always a double-edged sword on that. You just got to make sure it's not pointed at you. Erica says, the part about Gears of War E-Day. It's E-Day, not D-Day. There's a bunch of women that could have pulled from the White House and the WASPs. Yep. Women's auxiliary. Yep. 100%. And Erica's even saying, I forgot about the female USSR sniper chick. There were a couple. Not a lot of them made big news later, but there was a few. Now, here's the fun part, Erica. You're going to love this. Is the fact that in general, not specific, in general, women make better snipers than men for one simple reason. We tend to think, oh, we got the shot. We got to take it now. Women will say, I got the shot. Should I take it now? Hold on. Something's wrong. Is anything wrong? No? Okay. Bang. Okay. It's just, yeah. They're just a hair's breadth more patient than we are. Pure and simple. That is it. There's no anything else. Alan says, only twice a day. I got 4 pots of coffee a day on a calm day. Yeah, I believe it. The thing is, down here, I don't have any sugar. I don't have any milk. So it's black coffee. And honestly, the coffee I have is not that good. It's vacuum packed, already crushed. But it's not ground. It's crushed into fine powder. And that's, it's okay. It'll do the job to a point, and it's not very strong. If I want strong, I'll go upstairs and grab one of those Keurig cups that I got from my brother. He loves the Star Schmucks, and woo, that stuff is caffeine on caffeine, wrapped with caffeine, side with caffeine, hold the caffeine. Lena says, I remember about the Star Trek channels talking about aliens using plasma-based weapons and missiles. Those are very cool. It took a while for humans to make antimatter missiles that are capable of whoop. Yeah, the thing with plasma-based weapons is that the plasma itself is either the product or the subproduct or secondary byproduct of the explosive ordnance. The reason being is plasma can't be really focused. I mean, that's just, there's a lot of science behind that. And without a whiteboard to draw on, I couldn't even explain it. Let's see. Sniper says, he is a kid, yes, but he's still a dragon, and he is teach literally by his dragon kind, even if it's a different shape species. And now there's social rules. That's, yeah. You're not wrong, Sniper. Is the fact of the matter is there's a lot of shit going on, and I can't focus on all the different things going on at the same time. Could this be something to put in later? Yes, absolutely. I'd like to. However, as it sits now, it won't work. When you actually see the next one, you'll know what I'm talking about. All right, Lena says, things probably started getting serious when I noticed that Anime Meme Channel is posting political... What?
Great Scott.
Or should I say, that just makes me want to scream. Oh, sure, now it fades. I hit the goddamn button. Whatever. It'll yell here in a minute. But yeah, no. Give us our escapism and leave us the hell alone.
God fucking damn it!
Of course it was late. All right. War Sniper says, one of them are if a female dragon loses to a male, he proves he is worthy to be her mate, and she becomes his mate. Ferdinand follows those rules, but he has added one thing that will have to wait till both are 18 years old, and if the dragon want to be higher in rank, she has to defeat a dragon of that rank to show, and so Shadow become an alpha. Okay, I mean, that makes sense. It's kind of a survival of the fittest type deal, and that it does mentally work. Erica said, Syntax is right. Medieval men had it right about women's lust. Now, here's the fun thing. Between the Middle Ages and the Industrial Revolution, there was a complete misunderstanding of that. I mean, holy fucking balls. It wasn't until the original version of the gynecologist came out where women were getting shall we say, hands-on treatment, and it was supposed to consider to calm down the womb. Okay, and guys, I'm not even kidding. I'm getting as close as I can to the actual description that was I read. Not only that, but I saw a documentary on it, and I'm just like, are you freaking kidding me? These guys got shut down, even though they were making money hand over fist, no pun intended, and reason being is women would visit them 2-3 times a day. And a lot of guys were getting pissed off. And a few of these hands-on guys were getting beat up by the husbands, not because their wives were enjoying themselves, but because they were burning through cash like crazy. Okay, that's right after that came out. That's when the underbelly of the actual toy industry came to be. If you actually look at the timeline, I mean, there always were some. It's just this when it became more mainstream but underground type thing. All right. Anyways, Chris says, my ex drove broke my Japanese girlfriend years ago while I was in Japan. No kidding. She ended up in the hospital, but it was a funny story. Ooh, I want to send that in. Maybe we'll start reading them. It says, we were going at, and she started making some strange noises. So I thought I was doing something right. So I doubled down on what I was doing and went even harder. She passed out. I felt like Rocky in that moment. And then she wouldn't wake up. No, Erica's saying, I hope that's a joke. No, I've had this happen. There's a limit to what the psyche can take. I mean, the body might be able to, but the rest of the mind can't take it. The chemical dump that's going into your brain actually reaches its limit, and to protect itself, you pass out. That's every guy here. Well, I shouldn't say every guy. Most guys have gotten to the point where you don't realize, but you hit that certain point And all of a sudden you wake up like 5 minutes later going, what the fuck? That was awesome. Let's do it again. You know, but I mean, it is what it is. Chris continues saying, I grabbed her up quickly and literally ran her to the naval hospital. Turns out she had an ovarian cyst, which popped while we were going at it, and she almost died. Oh, man. Oh, so much for actually hitting the mountaintop too high. Boy. Here, I'm thinking you're, pistoning that shit, is maybe too much. He continues with, no, not a joke. I felt like the biggest asshole ever and did not blame her when she dumped me after that. Well, the thing is, how would you know she had an ovarian cyst, man? Eric is saying, oh, shit, that's why I stopped doing martial arts. Ovarian cysts are no joke. Yeah, I know they're no joke. Just like if you have, there's a type of, it's not quite cirrhosis, but there's something you can get on your liver from certain parasites. And if one of those things breaks, it's actually the same reaction. Well, actually, it's worse. Because with the ovarian cyst, you usually you might pass out, you might scream. But the fact of the matter, with the ones on your liver, if those break, you stop breathing. And if you're lucky, you can fight your way through it. If not, you're going to literally asphyxiate yourself right there. Yeah, I've never dealt with anybody who actually had one break in front of me. I've heard from medics. And as far as the whole thing on the liver, we had one dude originally, they thought it was cirrhosis. And the guy's like, that's impossible. They said, why? I don't drink. We all had to sign statement of goddamn, now I can't think because I got the scotch run through my head. Sworn statements. We had to sign sworn statements saying we have never seen this man drink before in our lives. They ended up having to open him up and check to actually do a biopsy on one of these, and they found out what it was. He went back into surgery 2 days later. He was fine in a week. I mean, he wasn't doing PT for a month, but I mean, he was up and about. They put him in a medically induced coma because they thought it was something worse. It's messed up. Anyways, Lena says, Ghost in the Shell anime was interesting. In episode 8, I got to see several butt shots of the Major, and they started to tell the story of Puppet Master in episode 7 and episode 8. All right. Guardian says, according to Wikipedia, denouement is supposed to be the same thing as the resolution. Some series continue after that with other things such as the epilogue. Okay. So this is why I'm glad you guys are here. I totally spaced on that. It's been so long since the thing is, when I did the actual creative writing course in college, they're like, okay, write me a scene from a movie, all dialogue. I'm like, okay. It took me an afternoon. The only thing that took long was the fact that I had to actually put the quotes in, say who was doing this and that and the other thing. But it really wasn't difficult. But anyways, one of my teachers, not the one who was in my class, but one of the other teachers would come in and say, you have to know how to do things exactly this way. And you can't do it that way. It has to be this way. I'm like, am I back in the math class? What the fuck is going on? Because that was the math class. They was like, oh, you have to do it this way because that's the only way I understand it. It still hurts my head to think about that bitch. Oh. And I still wish I knew who screamed, don't get mad because we're smarter than you. I want to buy that man a beer. That's what I want to do because that was ballsy. Stupid, but ballsy. Okay, I got to thin that out. All that stuff settled to the bottom, and that actually... A little black cherry on that. All right. Before I do too much, I got a $20 super chat from Skip.
All hands to battle
As he
stations.
says, Sin, I am a tech. Think geek plus plus. I am as much up to date with anyone much younger. I'm going to learn. Once I get things set up with Python, it's going to be easier than C++. I'm also hope to provide your channel with graphics. That'd be awesome. Dude, if you can do that, great. Just remember all my stuff, because I have to speed it up, is done longhand. Okay, and my penmanship is not good. Okay, if there's anything there that does text or writing to text, so you can do your text to whatever, yeah. Unless you're gonna just take it off the audio. And if you are going to do that, Skip, okay, pure and simple. If you're gonna take my audio, which we'll talk offline, but I will say, okay, I'll talk to a lawyer. We'll get a signator and all that, or not a signator. God damn it. We'll send the paperwork back and forth, and I got no problems if you want to start another channel, or if you have some way that I can plug and play that, because again, I do not have time to go through a whole bunch of stuff, because the new, just to put in perspective, the new channel, for me to make a 30-minute video takes about 3 hours. It's a long process. There are so many jump cuts and movements and so many things I have to explain. It's sick. So anyways, yeah, that would be freaking cool, man. I am not the tech guy. I am not the Geek Squad guy. I'm not a geek. I'm an asshole. There's a difference. But anyway, I look forward to hearing about that, Skip. I really, really do. And you know, you already passed the point where you got an extra week. You know that, right? So, and yes, I am tracking. It's all up here, guys. Actually, who's got extra weeks still in the tank? Like, Erica, even if you didn't send me anything, you had another week going. Guardian has this week. Guard has 2 weeks. Skip, you got 4. Prozac Pancakes got 7 in the tank. Steve's got 8. And Brian's got 9. So anyways, let me go back up here. All right. We stopped here where it was Lena saying Mary Sue is from Star Trek, a fan fiction parody. Now, they actually did shoot an episode. It was never meant to air. However, you can find screenshots and small bits out there. It was a very petite young lady with the Vulcan ears on, and she's apparently like half Vulcan or something like that, whatever. She was more logical than Spock. She had better leadership than Kirk, a better engineer than Scotty, a better medical technician than the doctor, could do communications better than Uhura. I mean, it was just crazy. And she's always snarky. The whole time she's snarky. And that's kind of why it was a parody. It was supposed to be kind of, okay, no one's this good. If they were, they would be called Lieutenant Commander Data. So anyways, yeah, the character was hated the most until the Geordi character, which was a male Mary Sue, also known as a Gary Stu, and everybody still hates that character to this day. A lot of people will tell him, you're the reason why I can't watch X amount season of Star Trek. All right. Chris says, there is an ex-Disney animator who is animating the adventures of Mary Sue. It's funny. You know, I'm going to write that down. Adventures of Mary Sue. If I find any minutes, I'll try to look it up. War Sniper says, can we make it legal to bully woke people? You live in the United States. It should be freedom of speech to tell somebody to piss the hell off. And you know, it's actually funny. And I've done this before. I've actually gone and when somebody says, oh, I'm going to do an EO complaint on you, I just kind of stop and walk away. They think they won. And then I put the paperwork in for an EO complaint against them. And then I got to stand on the carpet, but then so do they. And they're like, well, what's this about? Well, here's what's, and they're like, that doesn't sound right. And then back in the other way around, they're like, I wasn't racist to him. He wasn't racist to me. I mean, you walk in and literally say, hey, douchebag, get over here. We got work to do. I mean, that's normal in the infantry, just kind of yelling at each other. Ugh. All right. Leonid says, I always thought that if Admiral Blue Alien with red eyes would come to Earth with an invasion fleet, he would say something like, I want to learn the art. Or sorry, I want to learn their art. Yes, he is very what's the name? Thrawn. Thrawn's the name. He is one of the Chiss. And by the way, if I did a like if I wrote something for The Mandalorian, remember I told you guys how they would have to get a bunch of kids? One of them would have to be a Chiss. It wouldn't matter if it's male or female, I don't care. But one of them would have to be a Chiss. Why? Because I think people would be like, "Oh, I get that." You know, it's kind of a hat tip type of thing. Because that character is just good. As monotone as he is, everything he says is just interesting to listen to. Prove me wrong. All right. Chris says the market is crazy right now. My house went, when I bought it, I paid $200,000, but took a $250,000 mortgage to fix it up because it was abandoned for 5 years. Now we're at $680,000 and it's only been 2 years. All right. So you lucked out because anything after 2021 is considered that's when the prices just shot up like crazy. So yeah. Well, yeah, you lucked out big on that one. We checked this house here on Zillow just for shits and giggles. Every like year or two, I'll check it out. And it's priced right around the same, around 680. However, that's without the barn, without the office, without the wood stove. They don't even talk about tankless hot water or anything like that. They don't talk about the chicken houses. They don't talk about the paddock in the back. They don't talk about anything like that. And that's going to add more. So I bring this up, Chris, because it's possible you say you put another $50,000 into fixing it up. It's possible they're actually lowballing you right now. So just keep that in mind. All right. He also says the Kurds are kicking the hell out of Iran. They want their own country, so the Arab states stop stomping them for funsies periodically. Yeah, I was up in Kurdish country before. And I'll tell you what, after you've been in country for over 6 months and you see women walking around in Western styles, it's hard for you to look for stuff that might shoot at you when you see this lady walking past. And you just kind of look and you're like, oh, dear God, my head needs to turn back. But hold on. Okay, now I'm back. Oh, shit, another one. Oh, fuck. Okay, are there snipers around? And keep your head up. Stop staring at their ass. Okay, shit. Yeah. All right, Lena says, I know that the new trade route is open for business through the Arctic that Russia controls. Okay, so I didn't know that was open. That's actually news to me. I heard they were in talks. I didn't know it was open. But then again, they've been in talks for like a decade. So, yeah, that's surprising. Question says, Mao Zapdog, from the bed to the tree, Kaya Puppy will be free. I know what that's actually supposed to say, and I'm not going to say the actual phrase, dude. Okay, I'm reading you guys this stuff, and I'm trying to stay out of politics, but no matter how many times I get out, you're pulling me back in. Chris says, actually, we recently discovered that you can focus some types of plasma with magnetic field. That's actually true. You need one hell of a magnetic field, but yes, that can be true. And Alan says it's called a grazer. Yeah. As far as I know, the limit on it is very short, though, compared to what folks actually want. All right. Lena's talking about that one show I keep not getting a chance to watch, Chain Smoker Cat. You guys keep telling me how great this show is, and I never fucking see it. Okay. He says, Lena says, Chain Smoker Cat is probably becoming forbidden cat because some countries are banning her for using realistic nicotine products. Wow. Huh. I did not know that. That's very, very interesting. That's actually why some old school movies are banned. Believe it or not, in certain countries, Ghostbusters is a restricted item. You can only watch that if you're above a certain age because Ghostbusters 1, they're all smoking. Everybody's smoking. Everybody at that time, everybody smoked. I mean, come on. My dad smoked. My mom smoked. My grandparents smoked. Everybody fucking smoked. If they didn't smoke cigarettes, they smoked cigars. If they didn't smoke cigars, they smoked pipes. If they didn't want to smoke at all, they dipped. And, you know, if you saw what it did to my uncle's jawline, you would never touch that shit. But still, yeah. I mean, I can see that. Erica says, getting a woman to peak is considered harmful to her health. You know what? I need a button that says, what you talking about, Willis? Hold on.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
You know what? That's actually the wrong button. More like,
you gotta be fucking kidding.
Honestly, I've known women who I argue with that one, Erica. I disagree with that one. Bringing them to the peak constantly or on a very regular basis, yes, I could see that because that is extremely hard on the cardiovascular system. But on occasion, like maybe once a month or every couple months, there's no problem. That's like going out and running like a marathon 5 or 15 or 20K or something like that, or run the Boston Marathon. You only do that once a year, but you train all the time. You know, that's the way I look at that. And I have never once actually heard anybody say that that is harmful to the health if it's done, or let me say, if it's not done excessively, it's fine. That's what I keep hearing. Okay. Lena says, English dub has weird standards when they would say things during localized translation. It sometimes creates mismatched audio when the content 16 or 18, or when the content's meant for 16 to 18, right? No? Did I miss something? But yeah, I could see where it's messed up. Now, the thing is, there's always something missed in translation. I mean, case in point, I've seen the original translation and subtitles to the original Dragon's Balls. Vegeta curses a lot. I mean, holy crap. He curses like us during a firefight. That's how bad he curses. However, they dulled it down something fierce when they brought it over. Let's see. Wars Number says, that's why I make the interaction and the reason why Shadow is there in the first place. Ferdinand let Shadow enter with him and showed the group of the MC. Why? Ferdinand find it interesting how the soul of the MC came back to the same universe where he died, and he let Shadow go after her future husband that is still a child, and she is not trusting that Rocky is holding himself out of trouble and helping his father as a but yeah, I tried to hold it small because Shadow being there in the night and away that day, the interaction's small, but if you plan to go in deeper in that part of the story, say it when you need me to. Okay. All right. Lena's up here saying, the college teachers made me code a C when C++ already been available, and Python is a lot easier to code in. I don't know. It depends. Python is using special format notebooks. Okay, dude, you're speaking geek to me. I don't speak geek. Okay, I speak 3 languages: English, bad English, and infantry. That's it. That's what I got. I know a couple words in sign language like thank you and mother, father, go fuck yourself, you know, that sort of thing. All right. Chris says, no, what did I miss? Class was when I ran to the gun line. Okay. Our fob took a pounding from mortars and 50+ men assault. After we were done with the cleanup, I called him back. He chewed me out about how if I want to make it in life, I need to show the proper respect. And so when my lieutenant and chief walked in and told me to wait outside, 30 minutes of them chewing him out, making me sound like a war hero, I resumed the call. I kindly accepted. All right. Before I do anything, we got $10 super chat from the Guardian Sage. And he says, it's interesting to listen to you when you misread something. For example, Erica Gem said that it was past tense, and you read it as is present tense. You know what? I think I'm still in mode for this one, for something familiar, because it is done in the present tense the entire time. You guys actually called me out more than once when I fucked that up. So I think that's where my mind is at right now. I don't know. Right now, I got about 4 shots of scotch going through my fucking brain right now. You guys can't really, well, and maybe it's from the shade, but I'm getting just as flushed as this red shit behind me. But yeah, I will watch out for that one, Guardian. Thank you. That's a good catch. All right. Sniper says, I live in the Netherlands and myself, so I don't know. Yeah. Now let's see. Lean says, the saga about massive UFO objects on the moon is probably continues with another object is being spotted moving at high speed across the moon. I would not mind if Lucasfilm did a movie with Mara Jade. That would, that's what her name is. That's right. Mara Jade is Luke Skywalker's wife. And it is very, very twisted how that came out. She was actually a servant of Palpatine, and she was brainwashed and whacked something fierce. And no matter what, she was meant to take out Luke Skywalker. She ended up falling in love with him. She ended up trying to kill him a few times, and eventually she killed one of his clones. And because of that, her brainwashing that was there that said she had to kill him just ended. It just deleted itself because she accomplished the mission. And that was when she finally got free of Palpatine and actually got married to Skywalker. And they had at least one child that I'm aware of. And if you actually seen any drawings of her, you're going to be like, Luke, you lucky bastard, which is man speak for dude. If you were not married, I'd be trying to get up in that right now. Chris says, my house is 3 floors, 6 beds, 6 bath, 2 kitchens, 2 fireplace, 4,980 square feet on 7.5 acres of land with a freshwater well. My issue is I'm in West Virginia. I'm sorry. So it would be worth more elsewhere. Yeah. My taxes are 34. Dude, that is compared to around here, that's cheap ass taxes. My taxes here are about $1,000 a month. It gets seriously, it's to the point where I'm seriously considering moving. And if that was the case, you guys wouldn't hear from me for about a month. And he says insurance is $2,300 a year. Okay, your insurance is higher than mine. I'll admit that one. What did I miss from Erica here? Hold on, guys. I'm missing something. All right. Anyways, before I go any further, you know what? I'm going to throw on another video. We haven't seen a video in a while, so let's look at this one.
Op 4, last operator standing.
Sunshine, back on your feet.
Op 4 eliminated. Mission successful.
Well, he's not wrong. When in doubt, empty the magazine. I mean, come on. It's true. And unfortunately, I've been in the room when flashbangs went off. They are not fun at all. However, what is funny is when somebody decides to set the door charge and decides to try to breach the door before the charge is blown, and then they got to eat the damn charge. And I'm just like, you're an idiot. Let's see. Lena says, you can find a dancing crab meme in the new Halo game and certain Easter eggs with the characters. I thought that some of them funny. Okay. You got me. Lena also says, English dubs has no problem with saying fuck words, but they would not say penis or vagina. The characters would smoke, drink, alcohol, do perverted things on TV. Huh. I don't know. Maybe actually saying the clerical term is just something they can't do, which doesn't make sense because if you guys remember Kindergarten Cop, a friggin' 4-year-old said those words. And it was set up like a joke. But honestly, I'm sitting there, even as a kid, I'm like, kids shouldn't be really saying that. At least I don't think so. But what should be saying so is Skip with another $20 super chat as he says, I have dyslexia and very bad. In short, I will provide. You use it if you wish. If you don't, cool. I don't want or need money. I get more than enough from my retirements. Well, at least that makes one of us. P.S. I make Terrence Pop look like he doesn't have dyslexia. Oh, shit. You're funny, man. You are funny. You're so funny that, man, what you say is definitely not a load of Bolshevik.
There, I said it. Bolsheviks. Bolsheviks. Now drink.
Oh, man. That was funny, man. That makes me sit here.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
You guys are funny. All right. Let me jump in here again. And so, oh, Demon's back. Cool. Only 8 minutes later. Okay. Lean says, right now I'm trying to watch the new Star Wars anime with the characters living 1,000 years in the future and have mood ring lights. What? Mood ring laser dildos. They have laser dildo colors as blue, green, red, and silver. Seriously, I need this one of JonTron screaming what? Because like 4 times tonight I've been reaching for it. I mean, seriously.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
I mean, seriously, before is laser dildos, now you have your dildo hooked to your fist. I mean, is that going to be, you know what? I'm going to hold that before it gets even worse. And it goes into swing territory. But yeah, that's the I have trouble wrapping my brain around that one, man. He also says, I like the new hero ship. Some far future version of Corellian engineering freighter ships. Okay. I'm not versed enough to know the difference, at least in Star Wars. So anyways. I was going to have a different type of liqueur in there, but when I actually cracked it open and took a whiff, I was like, no, this is the sort of stuff you actually just put over rocks and drink straight. Anyways, Demon says, there is so much I wish to do, but I do not have the time. Amen. Between 12-hour work days, 5 days a week, house chores, and sleep, my free time is so limited, it makes me sad. So many games I want to play, and anime I want to watch, and I still need to work. My stories for Sin, not enough time. Been thinking about getting MechWarrior 5's Mercenary on Steam. Hold on, let me give you a good one. But I don't have the time for things I already own. Yeah, that's about right. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? It seems like every time I turn around, somebody's trying to take more and more of my time. And it is what it is, guys. It's freaking life. It's bad enough. I want to go help my dad load wood, and I don't have, I'm stuck in here editing for like 4, 5, 6 hours at a time. For this last one, this is, well, hold on. I'll even flip it over and show you. That's something familiar right there. That's 23, chapters 23 and 24 in here. It takes me about, if I'm not messed up or anybody stopping me, it takes anywhere from 6 to 8 hours to write that. Unless there are times I'm able to get perfectly in the groove or in the zone or inside whatever, and then everything just kind of flows out, which sometimes I'm lucky and that does happen. However, it still takes time. The only reason I'm doing Battletech now is because it's a part of the channel. After I do Battletech, I'll probably do Green Army Men or something like that, or Command and Conquer. However, I'm not going to do story mode. After this one, guys, I know you guys wanted story mode. But I'm going to tell you straight up, I'm not doing story mode on any others just because they take too long. I expected to move on to at least 2 different other games by now to look at them and show how it's actually easy to beat them. But that didn't happen. All right. Why is that on here? Hold on, guys. I got 2 of the same butts on here. Let me get a new one. Okay, that's not going to work. Those are succubus boobies on there. I can't show that. Let me go into here, if that'll work. And while it's working, I'll just say with guard, he says, Jesus Christ, William, how much goddamn money you got to just casually throw around 20s like that? Do I look like I'm complaining? Anyway, let's see if I can get this to friggin' work. Ah, you bastard. Oh, sorry, guys. It's the whole thing's friggin' stuck. Let me see if I can unstick it. All right. Okay, there we go. Guard's like, what is that, $80? Dude, I can give you an exact count if you want, but I don't think you'd enjoy me doing that. You're not too far off, though. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to throw in one of these just because we haven't, again, watched one in a while. And, oh, God damn it, I double-clipped one. God. I'm an idiot. Okay. Ooh, right into the friggin' face. Right in the face. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen it. I actually saved it and sent it in to somebody who he shares them with his kids. And I literally was like, here's how you play video games, war video games, the right way. One guy went out. He's the spotter. He's flying his drone around. And you got his other buddies. There's either 4 or 5 of them. It should only be 4, but he's got 5. And they set up as an artillery battery. And he's calling in shots. And let's face it, you don't need a smart drone to drop dumb shells on something. And they are just wrecking house. I mean, just totally just everybody. You got like 3 guys trying to take the point. And he's literally sitting, okay, we have him at, oh, he's in the circle here. Grid is blah, 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 blah. And then you hear everybody on the out. He's like, time, and they're doing a time on target, trying to psych everything up. They're like, okay, fine. And the only thing they do wrong is they messed up a couple of fire commands. Because you actually see them do, like in order, trying to figure out if anybody's shots are going to be off. And no joke, they're doing it perfect. Or, well, they're doing it pretty close. The only thing they got wrong is at the end of the video, he's like, do it again, do it again. It should be repeat, repeat, repeat over the radio. All right. Lena says, when Star Wars characters would kill someone when feeling rage, their lightsaber color would turn red. And when they get into some level of balance, their lightsaber would turn silver. Well, that kind of works, but it goes against the whole Ahsoka thing. Supposedly, she found red crystals, and she was able to purge the badness out of them. However you want to put that. And that's why hers are white. So, yeah. However that was. Guardian says, YouTube decided it didn't want to work for me for a few minutes after you read my super chat. Fun. Huh. That's interesting. Guard saying, yeah, YouTube's been really screwed lately. They're having some serious friggin' issues. I mean, serious fucking issues. I don't know what they are, but they have issues. Sniper says, Sin, are you going to do the Chinese faction on Command and Conquer? I'm going to be doing all three. Or actually, if I get, I literally have to do Command and Conquer, the original one, all three sides, and then I have to go into generals and go through each one by one. And in all honesty, they're fairly easy. The infantry general is unbelievable. It's literally a Zerg rush. That's all the infantry general is. There's no special anything to that. You're literally just making barracks, and you're just attack in this direction. And as soon as they're made, they go out in this direction, and you just wear down the defenses over and over and over again. And if the defenses are too hard, you hold them up for a little bit. You literally catch them as they go out. You build up a big group, and then you send them as a big group, and they start wrecking house on the defenses. And as you do that, you're holding that team into position. They're holding them down. Nobody can freaking move. Nobody can really build up. They can't go out for any more supplies. And you're out there building up as fast as you can. And then you just overwhelm them with numbers, because that's how an infantry general wins. The Air Force general is actually real interesting, because you have to send it in helicopters first, or sorry, bombers first, Raptors second, helicopters third. And you have to time this. If you do a time on target just right, wow, just wow, you are going to fuck somebody's face in something hard. I mean, you're going to lose a lot of helicopters at the end of the day, and you're going to lose a bunch of bombers, but your Raptors are going to just fuck everybody up so fast. Anyway, like China has the nuke general, the infantry general, and the tank general. And the nuke general is, again, unbelievably, you just build up nukes. You use your nuke cannons as your defense. And yeah, it's not that hard, especially when you're using area weapons like that. The hard part is actually surviving long enough that you can climb the tech tree. All right, Lena says, I've seen the new ship. It has giant saucer disc shape with a smaller disc shape subsection of the side, with the engine section that has 3 blue sublight engines. I'm guessing you're talking Star Trekky Trek here. Oh no, it's Star Wars. Okay. That's maybe they're trying to take the Star Wars and the Trekkie Trek and interweave them, even though they just don't work together. There's a reason why they work as separate entities. They're meant to be that way. Demon saying put it on medium difficulty. Of course. Sniper says, so yes, in the first mission, you can find 2 Overlord tanks around the area. The car bomb exploded. Overlord tanks are 2-barrel tanks with the ability for a module. Okay. And the tank one is pretty simple. You build up and then you bum rush. I mean, there's really no fanciness to that one. As long as you don't care about your numbers, if you actually give a shit about your KD ratio, then yeah, you got to play it completely different. Let's see. Demon says they go story mode and other solo operations on top of PvP. Also have battles with just AI as well. The game is fun. You can even choose what year equipment that's allowed in the match. Okay. He's not wrong. Erica up here, I did a 3-day experiment. One day I listened to AI stories only. The next day I listened to only real people. And the last day I did a combo. The days I did AI, I felt all creative and brain power being drained so bad. Is AI an update to the soul drain system? Pretty much. At least the problem I find with AI stories is this. They are so formulaic that you know exactly what's going to happen before it even fucking happens. You're literally going to hear the first part and go, I know exactly where this is going. I've heard this one before. So, yeah. And we also have to pause as we have a $10 super chat from the Guardian Sage.
For the Emperor!
Oh, wait. That's guards. No, Sage, you're here.
May the Schwartz be with you.
As he says, I don't know if it's your type of game. Hold on. But would you be willing to try Sins of Solar Empire? Other than the intro cinematic for each installment, I don't have a campaign. Or it doesn't have a campaign. I'm willing to try it, but mine is more ones that, how do I put this? People make more difficult than they need to. A lot of people try to be fancy with a lot of these, and they just really don't need to be. That being said, it also depends on how you're going. Now, if this is a just general online, kind of like, what's that other one? God damn it, I can't think of it. There's one that's completely online where you build up your own fleets and take everybody out. That is, I don't know. If it's an online one, I'd have to look it up. I'd be willing to try it, but I need to look it up and do some research before I jump in. Because it might be that it's set up where you can't do anything fancy. There might not be any loopholes, which will be great. But that's not what the other channel is designed for. The other channel is designed to exploit the loopholes because, let's face it, if you're at war, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Even within the confines of the rules. So, yeah, let me put that down. Sins of Solar Empire. Something Empire. Something dark side. All right. But yeah, as far as the soul drain there, Erica, yeah, it's because they're so formulaic. There's no twist. Okay. And it was brought up before, there's a twist in Something Familiar. Just like there was a twist halfway through Get Some. You didn't expect somebody to be taken by them and turned into a POW. Only people that actually write can actually make a twist. I mean, pure and simple. The AI does not know how to do it. And when they try, it sounds fucking terrible. Okay, Chris says, Anakin's laser dildo never changed colors, not even when he found some kids. Okay. Sniper says, then you mean Command and Conquer Generals and Second Command and Conquer. Whichever. I'm just going to go through each one. Provided I can get the game to work correct. It's all about tactical games. If they're first-person games, there's a big difference because a lot of times the first-person games just like you guys showed on the video earlier where he throwed the C4. That honestly, as soon as I saw that dude was inside a confined space, I'm like, use an explosive, please. Explosive, please. Explosive, please. You know. Speaking of which, did we watch this one? All right, I'm looking at these and Demon's talking about, I believe, the sins of solar empires. He says, America is jack of all trades early and mid game. Germany is jack of all trades mid to late game. France is a turtle, which, by the way, is sometimes the best strategy you can have. England is air force. Italy is rush. Russia is artillery and rush. And Japan is a weird mix. Okay, you got me. Lean says, a modern blaster rifle projectiles are not slow. They move really fast, and laser swords can block and deflect really fast. Okay, in the Star Wars universe, yes, the laser dildos can, in fact, ricochet a blaster bolt. However, it cannot stop solid projectiles. I was saying it when the prequels came out. Like, I wouldn't be afraid of Darth Vader. I'd be sitting there with my 45, just like, hey, turn the corner, dipshit. And as soon as he came around the corner, I'd squeeze one off right into his face. And as he's screaming from the pain because it's melting through his friggin' mask, I would just unload the damn thing right into his chest, taking out all the circuitry. So even if he tries to force heal, which he shouldn't be, if he knew how to do that, he wouldn't be in that fucking suit. So he's done. Once you damage the circuitry enough and you damage what's left of his body enough, he's freaking done. One magazine, and there goes the Lord of the Sith. Demon saying there's also a nuke mode. Yes, there is. Let's see. Lena says, I was describing Star Wars ship, but it probably looks like a Star Trekky Trek ship. Yes, it. As soon as you said circular, that's where my mind went. You're right. 100%. Chris says, it would make for a funny story if someone combined the pokey poke shots for the sniffers with data centers changing recipients' reality. They hunt and remove the non-pokey pokey people, then live in a fantasy. That's been done. I don't remember where I saw it, but I saw it. That what you're explaining was a like bottom budget, like mostly AI video. And yes, it was on YouTube. I have no idea if it's still there, but it's there. Or I should say, but it is there. Demon says, I think you missed the first part of the medium difficulty comment. I think I did. And yeah, I didn't notice that Chris finished it up. Living in a fantasy, thinking they are in utopia. Yeah. Now, here's the fun thing about if you're able to hook your brain up to a machine, as long as you know that your biological parts are not going to degrade, you're literally going to be going around certain sections of the internet taking so many dopamine hits that it is absolutely crazy. And by the way, I don't mean that in a giggity goo. Stick around. Wrong button. But anyways, not in a acceptance type thing, unless that's your deal. However, yeah, the amount of how do I put this? Desensitization would be insane. However, I don't think anybody would give a shit, because you just bring yourself into a historical drama for a few days, let your body do what it do, and then move back into as long as you don't realize that you're actually in there, or else it's going to be like that. I don't know if you guys remember the Twilight Zone, I don't dare actually have the music on here. Hold on, such a mighty word. But there's an episode where one guy, he's a criminal, he takes a bullet to the back of the head as he's trying to get away, and he wakes up and everything he wants is at his fingertips. Anything he wants, he wins every game, he gets every girl, he gets everything like that. And it doesn't take long before he like loses interest because there's no, oh, I might lose, it's crazy. Really interesting episode, especially when he finds out that he's actually in the place he didn't think he was. However, that would be the same thing about living in a utopia with the computer hooked up. Sorry, guys, I'm seeing double because of my beverage here, so I think I'll have some more. Lean says, I played the game with nukes. I think it's called Front Wars or Open Front. You got me. Uh-oh, Erica gave Chris an idea. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Dean says, but yeah, I think you would like Ruse, R-U-S-E. Well, I have to go back to work. Good night, everybody. Good night, Demon. Have a good day. Or good night. Guardian says, Sins of the Solar Empire is available through Steam. But I bought it, the first 3 installments on physical disc. Okay. Most everything's on Steam now, which they have a death grip on everything. Just the BattleTech one I'm playing, they haven't dropped the price on that since it first came out. So whatever. Lena says, Lunar Wars and Savages are go. Okay. Lena says, Lunar Wars and Savages are really good videos on YouTube with NASA punk space combat. People shooting rail projectiles in complete silence. In actuality, if you're holding the system, there is no complete silence. Reason being is you're hearing reverberation. Everybody knows that you're hearing reverberation and your body interprets that into sound. When you actually fire, if there is any recoil at all, that reverberation is going to come from the device into the hand, up the arm, and shake the suit just enough where you're going to hear something. It might be slight because it's got to go through everything, but it's going to be there. Just like if there's some sort of explosion next to you, you might hear the debris hit the side of your helmet. You won't actually hear the explosion unless it rips your suit apart. Demon says, I was talking about the game Ruse this entire time, Sin. You definitely missed my first opening. Yes, I did. Yes, absolutely. That would blast the comments because I was talking about the game. Yeah. I really have to get back to work. Sorry, guys. Have a good night. See you. Guardian says, the first one is just Sins of the Solar Empire. Second one is the Subtle of Entrenchment. Huh. Third is the Subtle of Diplomacy. Is that like democracy? And fourth is the Subtle Rebellion. Apparently there is an actual Sins of Solar Empire 2. Interesting. See, Guard says, God, I hate when War Thunder gives me these dumb challenges. I don't play War Thunder, so I got nothing. I honestly want to play. I would love to have a setup where I could fly in War Thunder because you guys have seen some of that stuff, and it is just great. And I would sit there, and the first thing I would do is work up to get a bomber, and you guys would know it's me because I would take off. I would do a slow circle to get up to altitude. And then I'd be up instead of 2,000 feet. I'd be up at like 6 or 7. and just call out pilot to ground crew, or bomber to ground crew, set targets over, and just see everybody light up the stuff on there. It's like, Roger, hitting from such and such, bombs away, everybody clear, and clear the blast zone. And by the time the bombs hit, I'm already fucked off and somewhere else. So basically, I would turn into an uncle of mine who dropped bombs in Vietnam. By the time the bombs hit, he was so far away that the surface-to-air missiles couldn't touch him. Anyway, Guard says, I have a challenge for the battle pass. That'll get me like through 5 or 6 levels of it, and it's 2. I kid you not, it's realistic battles till 60 medium or light tanks. And every goddamn match, they get either full of tank destroyers or heavy tanks or medium tanks that are somehow heavy tanks because they take so many damn shots to kill. Like, oh yes, let's give the paper thin armor of the Leopard one insane volumetrics to the point that its solid armor piercing round to the front plate somehow does nothing half the time. Or, I just get spawn camped to oblivion because some douchebags are running the German tank destroyer Willington orange Swedish counterpart to the USH-45. Sorry for the burping, guys. It just kind of hit me. Let's see. Chris says, he's laughing, but what if the historical drama is Caligula? I believe, no, it wasn't Tim Curry. It was another actor who actually played Caligula. To this day, he won't even acknowledge that movie. The closest they got, and I thought this was really nice of the interviewer. He's going through, and they're talking about each one, and they know Caligula's coming up because he's had a long thing. He's like, okay, and for your next one, boy, I hope you got paid good. And then you moved on to, and that was the whole thing. And you could see the actor, he just kind of had this grin like, thank you for not being an asshole. Unfortunately, most reporters are. All right. Lena said, original Star Wars lore probably had synthetic crystals, but they are probably kyber crystals anywhere in the galaxy. Yeah. I wouldn't doubt it. I'm sure somebody just kind of threw lore in there just to try and make it seem special. So, yeah. I mean, they did a whole thing about securing your crystals from a certain planet, like it was the only planet there. And it just stood to reason that when the Empire took over, they went to this planet and they literally tore the planet down to its atoms to find these crystals. And they just took them all. Instead of trying to go in there onesie, twosie at a time and let the force guide you, they went in there and said, fuck it, we're just going to take them all. The planet doesn't make them, it just holds them. So, yeah. Let's see. Lena says, I thought that I have seen asteroid ships in the new Star Wars anime. Beats me. I haven't watched it. Demon. Oh, he's back. Yeah, I'm willing to buy you ruse on stream. Please don't. If you're interested in, just let me know when you get a chance. And I know you're busy with other games and stuff and other channel right now. Yeah, if I didn't have to take people to their appointments and stuff like that, I'd have all 3 channels up and running. Right now, I only have 2. He continues, for real this time. Good night, guys. Before I get in trouble, I'm turning my phone off. Good idea, because I know you want to talk again. And we all love having you here, Demon, don't we? Let's see. Guardian says, just realize that I type subtle when I mean to type subtitle. Oh, subtle when I mean subtitle. Okay. Lena's up here. At first, I thought, hold on. Hold on. No. Damn, I only have one on standby. First, I thought I have seen space elves in Star Wars anime, but now I think they are space dwarves because those people are short and have rectangular ears and work as asteroid miners. That's one of the few things they actually did right on the Mundanalorian is they brought in other species and they basically paid homage to the way other cultures work. And it's not just one culture around the world that everybody just kind of falls into. Oh, let's see. Sniper says Sin needs to get a B-52 Strato in War Thunder by then. Yeah. What really gets me is if you ever watch those videos where somebody's like, oh yeah, we're going to shoot a video with the weakest bomber, but it holds the most bombs. They're at point blank range. It doesn't make, you don't bomb from 1,500 feet. If you bomb that low, you better hope to God your ordnance has got a delay on it so you can actually get the fuck out of there. There's a reason why there were delay fuses on those things. And they still, all they want is one video. And this is why I stopped watching them, is these guys will go in. There's only, I think there's like 20 people out on each side. And they got like 10 or 15 just working on this video. And everybody else is like, we're dying out here. Where the fuck are you guys? And nothing. Oh, we're getting a good video. Fuck you. Play the game and fuck off. Or I should say play the game or fuck off. War Sniper saying, I'm sure I will fly with one beside him. I've known one team I've ever, and the thing is, they got kicked off of War Thunder because of this. These guys did it exactly right. And there was anywhere from 3 to 5 of them at any given time, and they would do the exact same thing. But the thing is, they were given the commands exactly the way they were supposed to, even though you didn't have to because of the game mechanics. So they're actually going up. They would make their circle. They would get up high, and they're sitting there. And the whoever's in the front would have the bomb sight. Everybody else is like, and they would get lined up. They're like, okay, approaching target. Bomb bay doors open, and you'd hear bomb bay doors open, affirmative. And you look at it, and all of them just kind of open up. And they're like, instead of pilot or bombardier to pilot my ship, they would say pilot to crew, as in all the other ones. My ship. They go, Roger, your ship. And everybody knew that meant that he's about to drop. And all they do is they match his speed, they match his altitude, and they get lined up. And he's sitting there. He's like, bombs drop in 5, 3, 1, drop, bombs away. And they all just drop at once. And it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. It was done exactly the way they wanted to, the way they were supposed to. And they fucked up the other team so fiercely. Because you guys got Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and, well, they say Able, Baker, Charlie, Dog, and Easy, which is the old way of doing it. These guys would knock out three stations in one go, and it was beautiful. It was just chef's kiss. It was so good, and they got kicked off for being too good. I'm like, you know what? Kiss the darkest part of my ass. All right, Lena says the cargo of a military aircraft cargo plane that landed in Moscow included CIA director. Yeah, I'm sure he did. All right. Since we're getting towards the end, I think we did this one, so let's do this one.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Okay. What? I'm guessing that they have the same thing as in Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3. If you're playing against others and you end up being so good that you're just like wiping the floor with them, you can actually activate the nuke and it just kills everybody and you automatically win. I'm just going to assume that's it. So, Leonid says, and yes, there were asteroid ships of different sizes. All right. Well, as I look around and ask how many people I have on this.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
Yo!
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Keep firing, assholes!
Yeah, Guardian knows what's coming next. We pretty much reached the end here. That was the last video I had. So anyways, you guys know how it is. Safety brief. If you drink, you don't drive. If you drive, you don't drink. If your buddy wants to drink and drive, feel free to beat their ass. I'm pretty sure the cop is going to thank you for it. If your little soldier is going into the bush, make sure he wears his poncho. It gets wet in the bush, at least if you know what you're doing. And also make sure if you guys are going to partake in something that is extremely hazardous to your health, rethink it. If there's a voice in the back of your mind that says, I don't know if we should be doing this, the answer is go home. Okay? And I'm going to end you guys with a riddle. You find you're riding your horse as fast as you can. You have a tiger chasing you. You have an ostrich to your left. You have an elephant to your right. Where are you? Or, sorry, not where are you? What do you do? What do you do? You take your drunk ass off the carousel and go home. That's what you do. And that's what I'm going to do today, guys, even though I am in my home, as I am down in my secret underground lair. All right. Take care, everybody. It has been an interesting journey tonight, and I appreciate you all being here tonight on Syntex Live, and I will see you next week. Same Syntex time, same Syntex channel. Take care, everybody. This is your host, and